This vaccine is safe and it has been certified safe and usable by NAFTA.
I assure you that this administration has and will continue to support insurance growth in Nigeria.
President Buhari expresses optimism in insurance industry to thrive in Africa as he opens 47th African Insurance Organization Conference. The Rotary Club International flags off polio and COVID-19 vaccination in Nigeria.
For 35 years, we've done the vaccination work as far as polio is concerned.
And ahead Anambra governorship election, INEC meets political parties and unveils latest technology for future elections.
Where the voter fails the fingerprint and facial authentication, he or she will not be allowed to vote.
Good evening, you are welcome to NTA Network News. I am Kenan Ima Abodike. Reading with me from Lagos tonight is Hengido John Adams. There is great future for the insurance industry in Africa, says President Muhammadu Buhari, as he declares open the 47th African Insurance Organizations Conference and Annual General Assembly holding in Lagos, Nigeria. While stressing the continuous support of the administration, President Buhari noted the need to put the right mechanism in place for it to thrive. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
At a time like this, when the world's health, social and economy are being challenged by the coronavirus pandemic, taking steps in combating it is critical, and this means that all hands must be on deck to end this scourge, as well as salvage the health and the economy of the nations of the world that have been seriously affected.
I want to assure you that we in Nigeria are doing everything humanly possible to ensure a coordinated approach to the pandemic and reaching out to other African leaders on possible best options to fully revive the African economy, in which I strongly believe in the insurance industry has a vital role to play.
Rebuilding Africa's economy and insurance perspective is the theme of the conference, which the president describes as apt and well thought out, as it is looking at the reality of the moment, as many governments are trying to devise ingenious ways of managing the economy.
We have put in so much effort in ensuring that Nigeria diversifies its economy into all non-oil revenue resources, and the insurance sector is one of such sectors that being encouraged to develop and bring us the necessary stability, economic sustainability, revenue generation, job creation, and financial inclusiveness. I assure you that this administration has and will continue to support insurance growth in Nigeria and Africa at large.
President Muhammadu Buhari promises to follow deliberations of the conference with keen interest, and he looks forward to the outcome. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
At the meantime, federal government's various infrastructure development across the country has continued to enthuse Nigerians. Governor Dave Umahi of Ebonyi State is the latest to applaud the efforts shortly after President Muhammadu Buhari granted him audience. Again, State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
Briefing the press after the closed-door meeting that lasted about an hour, Governor Dave Umahi says the visit is to express the gratitude of the people to the president for embarking on what he describes as mega projects in the region, citing the second Niger Bridge as a good example of what the federal government is doing.
The second Niger Bridge is fast becoming a reality. Each time we visit that bridge location, it's always like a dream. And so we, the people of Southeast, were very grateful to Mr. President for this.
The governor also speaks on the limestone granules project in the area to fast-track the presidential fertilizer initiative. President Muhammadu Buhari says has already approved the fund and released to the Solid Mineral Development Ministry, but which still requires private sector involvement.
We also thank him for the award of the eastern corridor of our railway line. This is a project that is going to fast-track the commercial activities of our people. One of his cardinal objectives is to integrate in Southeast all the state capitals. But in putting together the project through Southeast, that the capital of Ebonyi State, which is Abakaliki, and capital of Anambra State, which is Oka, will meet it.
Governor Umahi is also inviting the president to inaugurate a number of projects executed by his administration. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
Let's talk health now, as President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the setting up of a health sector reform committee to commence the development and implementation of a health sector reform program for Nigeria in collaboration with the state government and the FCT administration. This is sequel to a health sector diagnostic review report developed by a consultant, Vesta Healthcare Partners and the Federal Ministry of Health. The committee will undertake a review of all healthcare reforms adopted in the past 2 decades and lessons learned and factor them into the development of the new health sector reform program. The committee, which is set up for a period of 6 months under the chairmanship of Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, has members drawn from private and public sectors, healthcare management professionals, development partners, representatives from the National Assembly, as well as the Nigeria Governors Forum, among others. In another development, President Buhari has also approved the appointment of Dr. Ifedayo Morayo Adetifa as the new Director General of Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC. Still on health, Rotary International has flagged off a polio and COVID-19 vaccination program in Nigeria as part of its humanitarian service. President of the club, Shekar Metara, who is in Nigeria to assess the club's performance, also inspected the ongoing girl child empowerment program at the internally displaced persons camp at Durumi in Abuja. Joseph Otterson has details.
Though declared a white polio-free country in 2020, maintaining a zero status is what the Rotary International is keen in to support Nigeria. This formed part of activities slated for the president of the club, Shekar Meta's visit, as he flags off a support program for polio and COVID-19 vaccinations.
After all, we understand vaccine. For 35 years, we've done the vaccination work as far as polio is concerned. So we will be happy to help in the COVID vaccination process.
This is my 3rd child, yes, and I've never missed a date.
It's good for you also as a mother, so that you will not be stressed when your child is sick.
The humanitarian situation in the country has also been a source of concern for the club. The president expressed satisfaction with the skills acquisition program for the girl child at the internally displaced persons camp at Durumi in Abuja.
I learned how to make patch. They teach us how to cut it and they teach us how to measure it.
We have done for 100 and we'll keep on doing more for them.
The United Nations report has it that 1 in 3 of Nigeria's population lives below poverty line. Now what Rotary International is doing is to assist these girls with a trade so that they can fend for themselves in the future. In Abuja, Joseph Oten, NTA News.
The federal government has reassured that it will sustain the momentum and leverage on lessons learned from polio eradication to continue to strengthen the nation's health system. This assurance is coming from President Muhammadu Buhari after receiving an award from the Rotary Club International in recognition of the efforts of the administration leading to the certification of Nigeria and the rest of Africa as polio-free. Once again, State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
The exciting moment when Nigeria was declared polio-free by the World Health Organization. Today, it is another award in recognition of the efforts that led to the achievements. Expertise, partnership, and consistency, all lessons learned from the eradication of polio in the country. And these are what the president says the administration will draw from to strengthen the health sector.
The support Nigeria has received from multilateral and bilateral partners, including Rotary International, for the Sustainable Development Goals and universal health coverage has been invaluable. Nigeria has benefited from your kind support, most particularly in the fight against polio, with a total sum of $268 million United States dollars provided by Rotary International. For this, I said thank you.
The president welcomed the club's offer of partnership with Nigeria in effective coronavirus vaccine management and service delivery.
I'd like to compliment you. I've heard about.
While highlighting the president's foresight and diligence in taming spread of the COVID-19 pandemic, President of the Rotary Club International said the historic achievement of eradicating polio in Nigeria was made possible by the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari.
Anything else that you feel that Rotary can be a part, we would, at every place, Rotary now wants to play a part in the nation building process, to do work on a large scale at a country level, and that can only be done when we work with the government.
As the organization notes, the COVID-19 threw up economic and educational challenges, assuring that the organization would continue to support Nigeria in education, including surrogate teaching and environmental issues. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
Now to security matters. Towards ensuring optimal performance by officers and men of Operation Hadarin Daji, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, visited Zamfara State. Lieutenant General Yahaya met with the troops under the Sector 3 of the operation, where he emphasized the renewed commitment of the Nigerian Army to win the battle against armed bandits and other criminals terrorizing the state. Jamilu Ibrahim has more.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya's operational visit to Zamfara State was to have on-the-spot assessment of the ongoing military operation against the resurgent banditry and spread of kidnapping in the state and to boost the morale of the troops. The Chief of Army Staff, accompanied by the GOC 8th Division Nigerian Army Sokoto, visited Magami and Ansado districts in Gusau and Maru local government areas, which form part of the areas host hit by the activities of armed bandits in Zamfara State.
All the security report, situation report that you hear, when you come to the ground, when you see what is the truth about it, some of them are being exaggerated, many of them, are. But the truth are doing their best, and we will do everything possible to improve the situation.
The Commander Sector 3 Nigerian Army, who informed the Chief of Army Staff that the troops deployed to the areas are doing a great job, stressed the need for members of the communities to continue to support them. NTA News, however, observed that bad road network constitutes a great obstacle to the military operations in the areas, as it makes prompt response to distress call very difficult. In the meantime, all telecommunication services have been shut down in Zamfara State. A memo from the Nigerian Communications Commission says the measure is to enable relevant security agencies carry out required activities towards addressing the security challenges bedeviling the state. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
In the meantime, the Nigerian Communications Commission and other relevant stakeholders have been commended for shutting down all telecommunication services in Zamfara State. A cross-section of residents was made the commendation while speaking with NTA News on the development in Gusau. expressed hope that the action would result in addressing the lingering security challenges in the state. Haliru Muhammad Umar reports.
As part of measures towards bringing an end to the prevailing security challenges in the state. This has resulted in shutting down of point of sale, otherwise known as POS, and internet cafes who equally use these services for different transactions, thereby creating long queues at automated teller machines, popularly called ATM.
Because we cannot do anything without the network.
We don't have choice. We have to cope with it. So it's compulsory.
No network, we cannot, our life is just revolving around.
All the respondents, however, see the action as a welcome development, especially if it will result to positive outcome.
And the informers that are telling those people that they should come and attack people in their houses, they are no more having that chance now.
While appealing to people in the state to exercise patience and remain supportive of government, as well as security agencies in their effort to restore lasting peace, the respondents emphasized the need for adoption of similar action in neighboring Katsina, Sokoto, Kebbi and Kaduna states for better impact. In Gusau, Haliru Muhammad Umar, NTA News.
And joining me via Zoom to speak further on federal government shutdown of telecom services in Zamfara State is a security analyst, Dr. Kabiru Adamu. You are welcome.
Thank you. Good evening.
Of course, for the past 3 days, Zamfara has no telecommunication services, which were shut down to enable security agencies carry out activities that will tackle the high rate of banditry in the state. Let's have your take on that.
Yes, that was the announcement by the Nigerian Communications Commission with the request by the Zamfara state government. Now, we think it's a very important development. It would cut or reduce the ability of the bandits to communicate with the families of the victims, through which they are able to gather money. And once you stop their ability to collect this money, then the temptation and the motive for them to continue their activities would have been reduced significantly. So yes, this is a very important development in this regard. But like your correspondent mentioned, there are a couple of things that would need to be done if the effect of this policy is to be met, including ensuring that neighboring states such as Katsina, Kaduna, Sokoto also join, as well as neighboring countries like Niger. That way, the bandits will become completely encapsulated.
All right, the shutdown is only for 2 weeks. Do you think that's enough time to make any impact?
So it depends on the other coordinations of the counter insurgency operations by Operation Hadinka and several other security agencies that are in the state. Already, we are aware that several military operations are ongoing, which is positive. But I think it's absolutely important too that especially the state government invest in social investment programs to carry the people along and reduce the impact of this policy. Employment opportunities such as those POS operations, several others that rely on this GSM has been affected. And so the local economy in the state would definitely be affected. And I think there is a need for the state government to put out some palliative measures to support people that have been affected by that. Now, the important thing is that the resilience of the local population would be built. If that resilience is built, then they will support government effort. And once they support government effort, then the bandits will find it really difficult to operate in that region.
Yeah, earlier you mentioned about the report we saw before the interview with you about other states and or neighboring states and even countries joining in doing exactly what is happening now. But could you just explain further on that? That is, if that strategy actually works out?
So the forests where these bandits hide and operate straddle states and even countries. One forest, as an example, can go through 5 states or even more than five states, and in some instances, even neighboring countries. So one of the best ways to approach this is to ensure that all of these 5 states carry out joint operations. Now, we know, for instance, that when they shut down markets, stopped the sale of petroleum, about 4 states are involved in that. For us to see the effect of all of these policies, it has to be jointly implemented. And if possible, let Nigeria use its diplomatic powers to engage countries like Niger and possibly even Cameroon to ensure that the neighboring regions to the states in Nigeria also carry out such measures. If I give you an example, Jibia, which is a border community in Katsina between Nigeria and Niger, those bandits can easily step into Niger to buy fuel or even, get SIM cards with which they can communicate. So we need to ensure that we block that ability. Otherwise, this exercise will be an exercise in futility.
All right, the people are important in this entire scenario. So what role do you think they should play to support these measures being taken by government to end insecurity?
I think it's very important that the state assemblies get involved here. If possible, come up with laws that would support the people in this very difficult time. And I'm very happy, Ironic Consultancy, where we're able to feel the pulse of the people. And a majority of the people that we felt their pulse are supportive of this. They are tired of the banditry, they want it to end. So they are very supportive of it. But you see, a man who needs food and can't get food, it would only take a number of days before it's easy for that support to sway. So there is an absolute need for, especially this at the state level and possibly the legislative level, to come in with measures to ensure that the impact on the people is reduced. And it could include social investment programs for this period, as well as ensuring that markets that are not affected by this are able to operate, even if it's on a skeletal basis. And then more importantly, in counterinsurgency, there's what we call resilience. Now, every move, including strategic communication, and I must commend NTA for what they're doing, as well as several other media outlets, they need to ensure that they support this strategic communication by government so that the people understand the intention and the objective behind the government policy, and then they're able to support it better. But on the whole, the feelers I'm getting from my consultancy is that the generality of people in these locations are supportive of the policy.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kabiru Adamu. Thanks indeed for sharing your thoughts with us on the news tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Now, President Muhammadu Buhari is calling for continuous dialogue as a way of ending mutual suspicion and killings in Plateau State and other parts of the country. This is contained in a message to an interactive session of stakeholders in Jos on the recent incidences in parts of the state. Cameroon Kanen Laduja has details.
The meeting was organized by NIREC as a means of deepening the peace process in the state, with the hope that it will spill over to other parts of the country. President Muhammadu Buhari, reminded Nigerians of the sanctity of life and government's determination to restore peace, urging citizens to work towards sustainable development.
Our determination to restore peace or sense of justice in a transparent manner.
Governors of Ekiti, Niger, and Sokoto states said Plateau State was renowned for its peaceful coexistence and called for lasting peace for meaningful development.
The path to peace is justice, and the path to justice is fairness, equity, and inclusion. Over the years that we've been having insecurity in many communities, many states in Nigeria, you will know that there is no benefit. There is no need for conflict based on ethnic or religious backgrounds, because whatever you are, God brought you into that home. When you give me peace, I will give you development and infrastructure. But when it is crisis, it means the resources will be channeled towards addressing insecurity.
For NIREC, the interaction is an opportunity for participants to ponder about the cost of consistent violent conflicts.
Whatever is discussed here, whatever comes out from this forum, should be for Nigeria. So we were so bothered about the level of bloodletting that has been going on here in Plateau State. And we see that it is not to the good of anybody.
The meeting attracted traditional, religious and community leaders, as well as heads of security agencies and top government functionaries. In Jos, Ekemeren Kadeng Ladoja, NTA News.
You are still watching NTA Network News. Time for a breather. Please stay tuned.
What's the difference between regular data and MTN data? I'll show you. With regular data, you get this. But with MTN data, you get moved right into the action like this. And this. And this. And this. With MTN data, you don't just get more, you experience more. Need loads of data to live your dream? Turn it up on MTN, the reliable data network.
I did look for pension fund administrator. We soft, make sense, we care for me. Shy. No be the time when story go enter the matter when it's time to deliver. Oh no. You bring the show, them no go stress you. Call them, then they accessible. Yes, customer care where they on point. No go regret when you try, of course. Profitable investment, everything, it just a blend. If you don't want it good for you, my guy, make you choose premium pension today. Make that switch to premium pension. Premium pension. Make that switch to premium pension.
Join over 700,000 satisfied members and enjoy the premium experience at our offices across the 36 states in Nigeria, including the FCT. Call 094615-700-704 to make the switch today. Premium pension. Active today, premium tomorrow.
The Nigerian Communications Commission is set to launch 3 major strategic projects. First is the Strategic Vision Implementation Plan, SVP 2021 to 2025. Also to be launched is the Compendium of Executive Vice Chairman EVC's speeches and presentations, titled Catalyzing Nigeria's Socioeconomic Transformation Through Broadband Infrastructure. The NCC will also launch its podcast, NCC Global Connect. The 3 strategic projects are in line with the priorities of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. Special guest of honor, Professor Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, FNCS, FBCS, FIIM, the Honorable Minister of Communications and Digital Economy. Date: 7th September 2021. Venue is the Communications and Digital Economy Complex, Mbora, Abuja. Time is 11 a.m. prompt. Professor Omar Garba Dambata, Executive Vice Chairman, NCC. Announcer, NCC. Connecting Nigeria.
At the first sign of pain, you need a solution that you can trust. Try Panadol Caplets. With Panadol's Optizol formula, the tablet absorbs quickly and starts providing fast and effective pain relief you can trust. Try Panadol Caplets.
The National Pension Commission, PENCOM, commenced the online pre-retirement verification and enrollment exercise on 1st September 2021. This exercise is for retirees and prospective retirees of Treasury-funded federal government, ministries, departments, and agencies. The following persons are eligible to participate: those who retired between January and August 2021, employees who are due to retire from September 2021 to December 2021, and retirees who missed the enrollment exercises in previous years. To enroll, retirees and prospective retirees can visit the PENCOM website at www.pencom.gov.ng to start the process online. For retirees and prospective retirees who are unable to complete the enrollment online by themselves, they can approach their respective pension desk officers or PFAs for assistance. The verification and enrollment must be completed by 29th October 2021. For more information, visit our website at www.pencom.gov.ng or speak with your PFA. This message is brought to you by the National Pension Commission.
The federal government has commenced second phase of COVID-19 vaccination. If you are 18 years and above and unvaccinated, register at www.nphcda.vaccination.gov.ng. Visit the nearest vaccination site to receive COVID-19 vaccine. If you received first dose of AstraZeneca vaccine before 8th July 2021, second dose commences 23rd August and closes 5th September 2021. All vaccines are free and certified safe by WHO and NAFDAC. At the vaccination site, you can check blood pressure and know your diabetes risk status. Children aged 0 to 23 months will receive childhood vaccines and screen for malnutrition. After vaccination, continue to adhere to COVID-19 prevention protocols. For more information, visit www.nphcda.gov.ng or call 0700-220-1122. This message is from the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency.
Take this, Mom. You will need it. My tongue is craving something. I know just what it is. Twisco. That's my favorite.
Twisco chocolate drink powder is a unique blend of cocoa, milk, and malt fortified with Enofort, a special blend of vitamins and minerals that helps give kids the vitality they need for an action-packed day.
Mommy, let's go.
Twisco, power your dream.
Welcome back. Stakeholders at the Forum of Health Commissioners from the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT are optimistic that building a strong health system in Nigeria with increased funding will accelerate the attainment of universal health coverage by 2030. Basi Etaiban reports.
Inadequate infrastructure, lack of equipment and human resources are some of the challenges in the health sector. These stakeholders attribute to funding. The Secretary to the Federal Government, Boss Mustafa, at the forum, urged the commissioners to deliberate on the challenges caused by vaccine hesitancy in the country.
Whatever level we are talking about these issues, the underlying factor is funding. So that's why we need to find ways of increasing the funding in the health sector.
The chairman of the forum, Beta Edu, says the forum is ready for more collaborations with the federal government, as well as explore the potentials for improved healthcare funding and healthcare delivery across the country.
Above all, we'll be looking at strengthening primary healthcare system, which is the foundation of the health system in Nigeria.
The Minister of State Health demanded for special tax for alcohol, cigarettes and other commodities that cause damage to human body, stressing that money generated from taxing the commodities could be deployed to fund the health sector in addition to the existing funding structures. Basi Taipan, NTA News.
120 environmental polio cases have been recorded in Nigeria in 2021 alone, but the federal government is assuring of its commitment to universal health care and health security through continuous engagement with traditional leaders nationwide. This was made known by the Executive Director, National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Faisal Shuaib, at the third quarter meeting of the Northern Traditional Leaders Committee on Primary Healthcare Delivery in Abuja. Oluseya Adabo has details.
It is over a year now that Nigeria was certified a white polio-free country, a success that cannot be told without the role of traditional leaders.
Polio in its various forms and its environmental polio at its fore.
Even now that UNICEF testifies that Nigeria accounts for 70% of environmental polio cases across Africa, these custodians of culture have been helpful in dispelling rumor and misinformation, hampering vaccination programs, and more is expected of them.
So we'll continue to work with traditional leaders. The meeting here today is really to see how we can focus on the different diseases and the root causes.
The only preventive measure available to everyone at the moment is the vaccine. So we're leading by example. We're also talking directly to the people. We are bringing in traditional, other traditional leaders on board. We are bringing in all religious leaders.
The National Primary Health Care Development Agency says the meeting with traditional leaders, which is targeting all regions across Nigeria, has been providing the desired response on the vaccination exercise. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
Still talking health, federal government says it would not neglect other diseases such as malaria amidst the battle against the COVID-19 pandemic. Emmanuel Akila reports that the Minister of Health, Dr. Osagie Ehanire, gave this assurance in a message to the flag-off of the distribution of free insecticide-treated nets and the seasonal malaria chemo prevention in Gombe State.
Gombe State cannot wait but take advantage of national and international programs aimed at reducing death rates due to malaria.
The state government has approved the use of over 580 health facilities and deployed over 2,000 health workers for successful implementation of the campaigns. Furthermore, the government has fulfilled all its financial obligations in order to ensure a smooth running of the campaign.
Minister of Health represented reassured Nigerians that despite the COVID-19 pandemic, the federal government would not relent in attending to other health challenges.
It is necessary to keep up with the gains achieved over the years in the fight against malaria amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, and that is paying attention to other life-threatening diseases.
I promise to use different channels and resources to disseminate messages on the use of the insecticide mosquito nets.
Governor Muhammad Inu Yahaya flags of distribution of the insecticide-treated nets and administration of the seasonal chemo prevention campaigns in Gombe State. In Gombe, Emmanuel Akila, NTA News.
In politics, it's 60 days to the Anambra governorship election, and INEC has introduced a new voter accreditation device, the BVAS, to be used during the election and beyond. The latest technology was introduced by the INEC chairman, Professor Mahamudu Yakubu, at a meeting with chairmen of political parties in Abuja. Mia Ogidi reports.
Such handshakes are rare. If done privately, may attract public query, but here is seen as appropriate. Pleasantries over. Talks on politics begin.
Bimodal authentication. No person can come to vote more than once.
The bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, takes over the functions of the smart card reader and the Z-pad. Acceptance by stakeholders will allow the usage of the device from the Isoko North State constituency by-elections, then the Anambra November 6 governorship elections.
Where the voter fails the fingerprint and facial authentication, he or she will not be allowed to vote.
Then to the Anambra poll, the conflicting court judgments, over 30 now, a nightmare to INEC.
I must say that some of the decided cases are making our work difficult, and we have been crying out loud for a long time.
The intervention by the Chief Judge of the Federation, Justice Tanko Mohammed, to stem this development by summoning the Chief Judges of the states where these judgments were obtained for debriefing today is well received by the Council.
November 6 is the day of reckoning in Anambra State. The mood of campaigns still a concern to INEC. Please let them be issue-based, or better still, use the campaigns to educate the electorate more on the advantages of the continuous voter registration exercise, the INEC chair told the party chiefs. Mia Ogidi, NTA News.
Away from politics, Nigerians are being advised to move away from the practice of agriculture as a hobby to a business venture capable of sourcing for strategic support from government agencies to grow their agribusinesses, impact lives, and enhance food security in the country. This was at the heart of discussions during the Nigeria Incentive-Based Risk-Sharing System for Agricultural Lending, NISAL Credit Risk Guarantee-backed project launch for 2 agro organizations in Cross River State. Paul Abel completes the report.
Food is one of the basic needs of man, necessary for his survival, the elimination of hunger as well as malnutrition. Today, Agribusinesses are no far cries as NASAL, a non-financial institution created by the Central Bank of Nigeria, supports the agricultural value chain, provides risk agricultural lending, and enables agribusinesses to obtain credit facilities from financial institutions with a guarantee at a very low interest rate.
It doesn't matter where your project is in this country, as long as it is agriculture and agribusiness, NASAL, the central bank, and the banks in Nigeria are ready to go wherever you are to support you. Finally, we want to make sure large business become corporations, and we're there to work with you.
The rural development is also achieved. You can see the welfare of the people will be improved. What else? The GDP will improve.
Come to a bank, bring your proposal. We need to support the government on food security.
Agolo Integrated Farms Akpabio and Tuaj Nigeria Limited, ECAM, all in Cross River State, are beneficiaries of NASAL guarantee in the area of poultry and cocoa export.
The partnership has helped us to acquire technical knowledge, ensure that we, conform to best practices. It has also made money available.
From Ekotakwa Moedem in Akpabio local government area of Cross River State, I'm Paul Abel, NTA News.
Time to go over to Lagos with Hengino standing by with more stories.
Thank you, Kene. Repositioning the Nigerian insurance industry through policy reforms, innovative products and risk management are key to harnessing the sector's economic potential and impact to national growth. This formed the crux of discourse at the 47th African Insurance Organization Conference in Lagos. Abolade Salami reports.
Insurance magnates from the continent of Africa converged on Lagos to brainstorm on how to rebuild Africa's economy from an insurance perspective. The sector that has maintained a steady growth in the volume of premiums recorded a 19.2% growth rate in 2019 as its highest in 5 years.
There is so much that insurance will do. More so, insurance grows an economy, it drives an economy by giving confidence to investors. They can come, they can do all that they want to do, knowing fully well that a sector of the economy that have been enabled, that have been empowered, will drive them should in case the unexpected happens.
To sustain growth in the economy, experts says insurance industry remains a vital thread in the fabric of a strong African economy, which, if fully harnessed, can restore growth trajectory post-COVID-19.
In most economies where insurance thrives, there's a lot of credit available to its people. And that credit is available because there's insurance backing those people, and the banks and all other lending organizations can give out money for people to build businesses, small businesses, agriculture, etc.
We believe that we can educate people, we can bring more awareness of the benefits of insurance to members of the public, for them to be able to buy into insurance, and of course that will lead to growth and increase in penetration of insurance in Africa.
While they identified the huge benefits inherent in the sector to drive the needed financial growth in the continent, it was also revealed that repositioning the insurance industry involves product innovation and creating awareness on the importance of insurance. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
Still on economy, not less than 5,000 youths from the 6 geopolitical zones of the country have been empowered with skills in digital initiatives aimed at making them self-reliant and competitive in the 21st century digital economy. Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Diary, met this noon at the ministry's Economic Sustainability Program, which rounded off in Lagos. Musa Toliat has details.
Quest for white-collar jobs that are not readily available has been taken out of concerns of these beneficiaries who were productively engaged for 6 weeks under the federal government's Economic Sustainability Program for Nigerian youths and the unemployed in the country.
The training has been so impactful, exposing us to a lot of things.
Now I can contact my customer and give them the best digital marketing and also increase my own financial capability.
It has repositioned me because I'll be able to teach others and others will be able to teach others. People can make money on their own soon.
with what I've learned too.
The intensive skills acquisition program focused on graphics and animation, robotics, software development, coding, and process of business outsourcing.
These young ones, they're going to go out there to become self-starters. They'll create wealth on their own. They'll become employers of labor. Some of them will form cooperatives. They will develop softwares and applications. You see the NYF fund that is there to support people. Even if you are not part of the training, you can still apply because you have a small business. If you do the training and you need extra cash for your business, you can apply.
The impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the youth population also necessitated the innovative strategies to help the youths recover, unlock their potentials, and become agents of rapid socio-economic growth and development.
Getting them engaged early enough is a very important tool in taking away the negativities that are usually attached to our youth nowadays.
As they are living with a laptop, they can start work immediately. You that study graphic design and animation, immediately you get home today, you can work for a client and start making your own money.
The training program is an offshoot of the DEL initiative of Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, with special focus on employability, entrepreneurship, leadership, and mentoring in Lagos. Musa Toliat, NTA News.
It's time for another break. Network News will be back shortly.
I started drawing a lot when I was younger, and I always wanted to go into something art-related.
I jumped, into the room that we were still smoking to pick him up.
The cotton was melting on him.
As I put my hand on his shin, his skin gave way.
Corporate organizations turned their backs on us. NTA came in at a point when I was at my lowest.
And it turned the story around.
Being a fitness enthusiast, it has served as a form of therapy.
You call someone great, and then you expect that he has to go through something so that that name will be real. As his name is, that's how his future is.
The Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, NCDMB, in line with its mandate in sections 37 to 39 of the NOGIC Act of 2010, invites stakeholders in the oil and gas industry, academia, and researchers to the second Research and Development Conference with the theme Creating Sustainable Collaboration in Research and Development for the Energy Industry and its Linkage Sector. Objectives of the conference include launch the NCDMB 10-year Research and Development Roadmap, launch the Nigerian Content Research and Development Fund, create a collaborative platform where the academia, industry stakeholders, government institutions, and researchers will meet to discuss areas of research interest, create a platform for demonstration of research breakthroughs. Date is September 9, 2021 at the Nigerian Content Conference Hall, Yenagoa, Bayelsa State, Nigeria. Time, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. For participation, sponsorship, and partnership, please visit the website to register, www.ncdmb.gov.ng/RDFair2021, or call the following numbers: 0803-547-7599, 0906-298-1425.
Yes, but how? Just one question for you. How do you keep your toilet clean?
I use regular detergent and bleach for washing and removing yellow stains. I have been using it for years.
Oh, madam, the regular detergents and bleach are used for washing clothes. To disinfect your toilet properly, you need Harpic 10X. It is specially made for germs and stains remover. Harpic sticker formula settles on stains and gives 10 times better cleaning compared to regular detergent and bleach.
Wow! Oh God, Greg, you want to buy cough medicine again? Why haven't you gone for a test like I advised?
Test? So that the hospital people say I have COVID-19? No.
How about Greg? Not all coughs mean you have COVID-19. COVID-19 cough and symptoms are different from other illnesses like tuberculosis.
Solomon, why don't you ever stay at your post? Why?
This your cough. You need to check Amo. When I had a bad cough, Madam told me to go for tuberculosis test. After the cough syrups didn't work, they discovered I had tuberculosis. After the free test, I was even treated for free. Now I'm fine.
Solomon is right. Oga Greg abeg take am o, make you dey sure, because who no go no go no.
Check that cough for tuberculosis.
If your cough is more than 2 weeks, it could be tuberculosis. TB tests and TB treatment are free. Just call the National TB Hotline on 3340 for information on where to get the test. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Health with support from the American people.
Not all washing powders are the same. Sunlight adds bursts of freshness to cleaning power to give you Sunlight 2-in-1 for sensational cleaning and freshness that lasts. Sunlight 2-in-1, sensational cleaning with burst after burst of freshness. Introducing Sunlight with luxurious oud fragrance.
The Federal Inland Revenue Service first has urged taxpayers not to panic over the recent court ruling by the Federal High Court sitting in Port Harcourt, which dismissed its motion for state of execution of the judgment that the River State can collect value-added taxes from its residents. A statement from the fair says until the Court of Appeal or even the Supreme Court determines the matter, taxpayers are required to continue to comply with their value-added tax VAT obligations within the status quo framework, cautioning that taxpayers must continue to honor their tax obligations under the VAT Act, as failure to do this would put them on a collision course with the law. Records of appeal, the statement says, have been transmitted to the appellate court, and the FEX is confident that, given the extant laws, the arguments and case put forward, it will earn a favored judgment at the appellate court. The government of Cape Verde has indicated interest in an accelerated collaboration with Nigeria to help grow its creative industry. The Cape Verdean Minister of Culture and Tourism, Abrao Vincenter, made the request at an audience granted him by Nigeria's Information and Culture Minister, Lai Mohammed, on the sidelines of the United Nations World Cultural and Tourism Africa Commission meeting in Cape Verde. Anthony Forsen reports.
Describing the conference as a huge success and attributing it to the role Nigeria's Information and Culture Minister played in mediations that ensued during deliberations for positions. Albrando Vincent said Nigeria's position as big brother in Africa came to bear in stabilizing proceedings during the meeting. The 3 points Nigeria marshaled was unanimously endorsed.
And we can sign agreement of implementation, how we can start it. We have currently an architect, but we can implement a teaching and exchange programs to make people come here, learn with Cape Verde, and make Cape Verde go to Nigeria, learn for your cinema industries. How do you make it? This is the question, how Nigeria made the cinematographic industries. And it's a curiosity, not also in Cape Verde, but I think in all the European countries we deal with.
Lai Mohammed assured the minister that Nigeria's creative industry will collaborate with Cape Verde to grow theirs, as Nigeria's role is already doing well, informally.
It's a very unique meeting, very important and very, very significant. Of course, on the need for collaboration between Cape Verde and Nigeria in particular, because while we have very pristine, unexplored tourist attractions in Nigeria, our greatest strength today is in music, is in film, television, architecture, and the entire gamut of creative industry.
At other engagements on the sidelines of the meeting, Lai Mohammed consistently maintained Nigeria's position. In summary, COVID-19 vaccines, connectivity in Africa, and calls for travel restrictions by developed countries must be treated with caution so that it doesn't hurt Africa's economy. In Cape Verde, Anthony Forsen, NTA News.
We have time for one more break on the news. Do stay with us.
Wow Wash and Win Millions promo. Millions of Naira, daily prizes, and a million Wow sachets are up for grabs. Buy Wow now. Offer valid till October 25th, 2021.
dances that create wow performances. And for many stains, we need wow. Amazing washing power. Each wow pack gets a lot of clothes clean and fresh. Wow. Washes a lot, saves a lot.
Kende suffers from indigestion. His twin Taiyi suffers from heartburn. Sometimes it's the other way around, or both. That's why they use Gaviscon Double Action. It soothes within 3 minutes and lasts for up to 4 hours. For double relief from heartburn and indigestion, Gaviscon Double Action.
Confidence is important in life's little moments. Strong teeth can help, even if they get her into trouble sometimes. A great smile is useful to break the ice, and making friends is easier when you know you have fresh breath. I give my family confidence with Pepsodent Triple Protection 123. Its antibacterial action formula gives them cavity protection, white teeth, and fresh breath. The confidence of 3 toothpaste in 1. Pepsodent Triple.
We don't like to eat better, more nutritious meals, more veggies, but we want it tasty and easy too. Knorr Cubes, that's the secret. Made with real ingredients like chicken, parsley, and garlic. And enriched with iron, so your meals are better for you and more delicious too. That's the cocoa. Let's give it some accolades. Change your world by changing what's on your plate.
Hello, madam. Would you like to join us on this mission?
Yes, but how?
Just one question for you. How do you keep your toilet clean?
I use regular detergent and bleach for washing and removing yellow stains. I have been using it for years.
Oh, madam, the regular detergents and bleach are used for washing clothes. To disinfect your toilet properly, you need Harpic 10X. It is specially made for germs and stains remover. Harpic sticker formula settles on stains and gives 10 times better cleaning compared to regular detergent and bleach.
Wow! Not all washing powders are the same. Sunlight adds bursts of freshness to cleaning power to give you Sunlight 2-in-1 for sensational cleaning and freshness that lasts. Sunlight 2-in-1, sensational cleaning with burst after burst of freshness. Introducing Sunlight with luxurious oud fragrance.
The All Progressives Congress Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention and Planning Committee says it will not accept results of parallel local government congresses from any group or individual that allegedly did so. National Secretary of the committee, John James Abanudedehe, disclosed this while addressing journalists at the party's National Secretariat. Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara reports.
Very successful.
Just like the World Congresses, the National Secretary says the just concluded APC local government congresses were successful across the country. He is confident that the party is on the right track towards a successful national convention.
If you gather somewhere else in the name of APC, that's your own business. But our own is that, as far as this party is concerned, and we have members who are law-abiding, the congresses went very well. Any aggrieved member who is aggrieved that things were not done properly, there is a channel of venting your grievances. Not to destroy the party. If you go out now without subjecting your petition to these stages, then you are outside the rule of the party.
As part of efforts to ensure unity of purpose and build a united progressive family, the caretaker committee, he said, is compiling a list of court cases and their sponsors to be submitted to the National Executive Committee for amicable resolution. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
And that concludes the news tonight. Thanks indeed for watching. Before we go, remember to connect with NTA to stand against rape and rapists. I am Kenen Ima Abodike. Good night.